Bitcoin just put in its highest weekly close ever, and I just spotted something on the Cardano charts that I think you want to see. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Bitcoin just had its highest weekly close ever, and there's absolutely no euphoria at all. Besides the charts, that's kind of something I just really wanted to touch on. I don't know if you were here in 2017, this whole thing happening back here into all-time high. Every candle close that we were getting back there was just insane euphoria going on. You just couldn't believe it would keep going. And finally it did top out, right? It topped out, Bitcoin topped out on the weekly chart there. The feeling in the air, the sentiment that, not even a feeling, the sentiment that we see is just not there. And this is good, in my opinion. Many people going into this bull market and even post entering the bull market, which was right here, these bull market doors in November, many people saying this bull market is going to last longer, right? And the setup on a technical level for these charts is the perfect setup for this bull market to last longer than the last bull market. And so here we are on the weekly. We just got our highest weekly close ever. We're in a new weekly candle. Who knows what's going to happen? We have some interesting charts on the kind of more zoomed in scale. You can see there's the highest weekly close ever. And Bitcoin right now, just let me get rid of this line, just kind of stagnant in this area, hovering around all-time high. We go to a daily chart, you can kind of get a sense of what it is. It's in this upward trend, and this is kind of a rising wedge. Many people view this as bearish. You know, there's definitely potential for a touch to the downside. What I'm watching for is this upper trend line. Can we wake up tomorrow and Bitcoin all of a sudden is putting in another all-time high? It's such a small move. It's not a big move at all for Bitcoin to do something like that. We're talking about less than a 10% move. We're, 6%, if 5 to 6% away from all-time high. That's a move that can happen very, very quickly in a matter of minutes. So what I'm doing is kind of on the weekly, I know there's upside potential, right? Let me kind of bring up these oscillators real quick, the momentum oscillators on the weekly. And if we look at them, you can just see in terms of these swing highs that Bitcoin gets into on this oscillator. And by the way, here is the last bull market high all the way back here on the oscillator. And here's Bitcoin, a ton of upside. Here is Bitcoin right after entering the bull market, this current bull market, and just going crazy. And here is Bitcoin, a ton of room for Bitcoin to the upside. One thing to keep in mind on the daily chart, for just a crazy volatile dip environment, if Bitcoin doesn't get this next leg up, doesn't get this breakout that we want to see, we have the lower trend line touch, and this is a really important touch area to the current swing high, all-time high. We have this higher low area. And this is an environment, if we're in a longer bear market or bull market here, everybody, that's going to last longer, then these types of dips are probably going to play out, and we're going to have to survive them more and more, right? Like this one that happened. This was a huge, important move to a 1618 on the macro. So what I mean by that is zooming out, we know we have this Fibonacci, the last bull market high to, and let me stretch this out a little bit, to the bear market low of 2018. And we have this very crucial touch right here to the 1618. There's the bull market doors right here in green being broken. Throw back down to the 1618 line of that Fibonacci. That was a really important move. What's interesting to me is you can see Bitcoin breaking through the bull market doors here. Kind of this last touch area is the beginning of this lower trend line to the 1618. So we have huge macro areas from this Fibonacci in play right now, and this lower trend line extremely critical. So I think it's wise to, at the very least, anticipate some kind of dip to that area. Not saying it's going to happen, not saying I think it's going to happen. I'm saying let's prepare for it to happen. And what that could look like is a vicinity of 45,000 at the 618 to right around 37, 38,000 at the 786. Something to be prepared for, that's all. But zooming in on the charts, we get a better idea of kind of where we are. This resistance, it's lower high resistance from the all-time high, is something I'm watching, meaning all-time high, swing low, right up to a Fibonacci lower high. You can see Bitcoin already struggling just below the 618 line of that Fibonacci. The reason I use that is because we see these all the time. uptrends, downtrends, whatever. I real quick just charted. These are all like perfect Fibonacci resistance areas, right? They played out perfectly, like over and over and over again. And it's just a perfect illustration of downtrend and resistance and the bulls stalling. So when we get to these setups that happen very often, and you can check this out, Bitcoin from this last all-time high to that swing low, you can just see this entire channel Fibonacci resistance playing out before finally the breakout to the next all-time high. So on a very zoomed in level, this is the area that I'm watching right now in the zoomed in. It is right around 66,400 to $67,500. That's resistance for Bitcoin. Want to see if Bitcoin can break above that. But right now you can see it's already stalled out in the current 6-hour candle of this new week that we're in. That's what I'm watching for Bitcoin. Let's pivot over to Cardano. Before I do, everybody, one of the most exciting projects really getting ready to launch on Cardano SundaeSwap. You all know there's like less than 2 days to vote. I got to keep pushing this thing. I need your help, everybody. It's very simple to vote for a stake pool operator for the ISO. It's the initial stake pool offering. And what it is SundaeSwap going to be giving away, right? Basically launching, distributing 5% of their 2 billion tokens for distribution. They're using stake pool operators to do this in their launch when the DEX goes live. Now, to do this, they're using stake pool operators. So that's what they're doing. That's what this vote is for. It's for voting those stake pool operators in. It's 30 stake pool operators with 10 pool operators in the reserve as backup, I guess. And so, you see all the stake pool operators. We're all pushing this thing, right? We want your support. We all just want to it's not even so much competition. It's just kind of like we want to be a part of this. We want to take part in the technical side of this. And really, this is history for Cardano. It's history for SundaeSwap. So it's the ISO SPO. All you have to do is copy your receiving address in Daedalus, your Roy, Nami wallet. Just copy your receiving address. And then in the same wallet, send yourself exactly 2.923 ADA to the address you just copied. And that's a vote for CCV, and it applies to all of our pools. So note that there's a very minimal transaction fee when you do that. So appreciate your support. We have less than 2 days. Let's pivot to Cardano. Here we are with Cardano 205 right now. Cardano at 205, everybody. So I want to touch on something on the weekly chart, and it really ties very well into what we talked about the other day in the last Cardano update. And that is this. In the last update, we were talking about kind of the 20-day moving average cross that we just had most recently below the 50-day, that blue line. So the green line also crossing below that blue line back here, 20-day below the 50-day. That was post Mary hard fork. So that's post Mary hard fork. Here we have post Alonzo hard fork. And then here we have post Shelly hard fork. These consolidations are so similar. We talked about the time frame where Cardano consolidated after that cross before breaking out, right? So 86 days back post Shelly, 54 days right here post Mary. And now we're at Alonzo. So far, we're 52 days. But I want to dig into this really on a macro level. I think last time I dug in and we zoomed in. Now I want to zoom out and I want to talk about these areas because something bullish is lining up. It doesn't mean it's going to play out. We're going to zoom in on the charts in a little bit, in a couple minutes. We're going to talk about where Cardano is right now, what it has to do. But let's zoom out. So what I want to do is I want to look at, because what we're waiting for is a breakout, right? We all want that. What I want to do is I want to look at when we got the breakout, that 20-day moving average cross above the 50-day, back here into that next all-time high move. That was right back in August, not that long ago. And then we also had this breakout, the 20-day back above the 50-day, that led to a huge breakout. And this was November 19th, right around November 19th. So November 19th, and we have like August 9th area. Let's go to the weekly. August 9th, right here. November 19th. So there are the breakouts. This is what it looks like on the weekly. This pop from the 20-week moving average. This pop from the 20-week moving average. And here we are. We're waiting for the same thing, a pop from the 20-week moving average. It's not guaranteed. However, something bullish is lining up confluent with all of these moves. I want to show you this. This is the RSI. It's the stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator. It's oversold. It's been kind of oversold here for a couple weeks here. Now, you can see the K line, the blue line, getting ready to cross above the red line, the D line. So, sorry about that. K line to the D line, right there. Look at this cross getting ready to happen. Now, if you look at, let me go back to the chart. This pop away from the 20-week moving average, what just happened before that happened? K line, the blue line, crossing above the red line, the D line. Now, what happened with this pop away from the 20-week moving average leading to the breakout back in November 19th? K line crossing above the D line. So we're in that oversold environment that we were in before. Even on the RSI, we're getting those similarities in terms of consolidation, the same general vicinity, like right around here, the 50 line. So back here, it consolidated post Shelly hard fork. Post here, it finally consolidated at the same area post Mary hard fork. Now here we are post Alonzo consolidating at the same area, oversold on the stock RSI. We're just about to get this K line crossing above the D line. And all the indicators are set. Now, I just can't say enough how much that doesn't guarantee. It just does not guarantee anything. And please remember this video is not financial advice, everyone. I should have opened this video with that. I forgot. It's not financial advice. This is data. But we're seeing pretty strong, solid, bullish data on these macro charts for Cardano, especially after it's just been sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. But just remember, we've been here before, right? Back here, a little bit here. Now we've been here again, all in the same area, all these momentum oscillators lining up the same. And putting all of that aside, everybody, there's just so much going on. The Plutus application backend. You have just, Catalyst. I was thinking about Catalyst lately, and this governance system that pretty much nobody in crypto is talking about, unless you're in Cardano. You have JED, this decentralized algorithmic stable coin. You have like so much. And then you have all of these companies and projects building on Cardano that haven't even launched yet. Some people out there get tired of me talking about Cardano so much. And I just really don't care. This is such a big piece of my investment approach. Cardano is, and things are about to blow up. And I think it's going to provide so much content to just cover surrounding Cardano, and I'm really excited about it. So Crypto Capital Venture, obviously we cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a huge piece. I'll probably cover Bitcoin more in a bear market type of environment because that's where I leverage Bitcoin more. But right now, with where we are in the growth of Cardano is where it's at. So let's go real quick to the daily chart. One thing I want to point out, it's very simply where we are on this daily chart. Let me open this up. So on this daily chart, we're still below this 50-day moving average, it's that first thing we want to see Cardano get to. It's around 211. So we want to keep that in mind. What's good is you can see Cardano hovering above the 20-day moving average, this green line. So we're in between the two. And we've been here before. Notice this area that we just talked about, this 20-day moving average cross above the 50-day. We were right between the two then, right? For a little bit, probably when Cardano was being called a stable coin. Then we got this move, and on the weekly chart, we were just getting that K line cross above the D line, the blue above the red. And so we're at a very similar area in terms of where Cardano is now as where it was in August, right? So before that explosion. Doesn't guarantee it's going to happen again, but very similar. So that's on the daily chart. Now on the 6 hour, and this should be actually right up here. Let's move this to right around, what do we say, 211. 50-day moving average, just for reference so we know where that's at. But here we are. Nothing has really changed since the last video. Number one, we got the breakout through the descending triangle, back down throwback, which happens, we know, I believe it's 60% of the time, right? 60% of the time throwback rate based off of the patternsite.com. Use so much of his data. Got the throwback. No concerns, right? It is what it is. And now we're still just consolidating sideways as all of that macro stuff kind of happens and formulates. and comes to fruition. And at the same time, we're still testing this, and we're really Cardano's sideways right now. We're just testing this this last swing low all the way back here to October 27th to that swing high, that breakout that we had, and we're just still testing the support that Cardano is at. And right now, to the downside, this is the biggest thing that I'm watching. It's this green rectangle of support. It's a Fibonacci higher low support, which is right around $2.03 down to $1.94. That's the area to the downside I'm watching. No concerns, kind of really, until we're breaking and closing 6-hour and daily candles below that support area. And then to the upside, I'm just waiting for just some type of pop to the upside. Here's the fit. We're on a 6-hour chart, but here's the 50-day moving average right around 211, waiting to see if Cardano can get back above that area and then ultimately break above this Fibonacci, which is very simply a resistance area from the swing high breakout to that swing low when Cardano kind of crashed. We want to see Cardano 221 to 228. We're still waiting. There's not much I can say in regards to this chart because it has just been sideways. This is the hourly chart. One thing I will note real quick to end the video is this. Cardano, with this upward momentum of higher lows, is good. Now, what strikes me as even better is the fact that we had this symmetrical triangle that we were tracking before, and it kind of broke to the downside. What's good here is, yes, in that symmetrical triangle, we had a very similar higher lows, right? But this is what strikes me as potentially a signal of bullishness. We have these higher lows, but we've put in a very strong high, right? Higher high. So it's not just been lower highs similar to back here, lower highs. We put in, boom, a momentum shift indicator, upward momentum with a higher high. So that's on the hourly chart, but it really does all come back to this weekly. If you could look at this weekly chart and this potential, look at this. Look at this cross happening right now. And we just got that last time in like July, right before the August breakouts. And we also got it back here in September, or actually I should say right here in November before that crazy breakout post Shelly hard fork. So that's all the data, everybody. That's what I'm tracking. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.